Hey guys, it's Stav here, and today we're doing the Marvel Rivals Season 6 tier list. This is just my opinion as someone who's high GM, mid Celestial every season. Um, yeah, let's get it going. We're going to start with the strategist tier, or strategist group, and I'm going to try my best to order them inside of the tier, but going strategist, DPS, and then Vanguard. Um, First up, we got Adam. I think Adam's quite strong as a third support, but I think majority of Adam players kind of blow, and that's unfortunate. I'm gonna throw him in D tier. He's really just played for the res. Soulbond's really strong, especially against Psylocke, but Adam's just kind of a nothing burger most of the time, unfortunately, because I think Adam's really cool. Um, yeah, Adam Warlock's gonna go in that D tier. Cloak and Dagger, I'm gonna throw in A tier. The Terror Capes, double Terror Capes is fucking ridiculous. I don't know why they did that. Um, you know, she still does the output of healing. Her ult is very cancelable, especially when you get higher and higher. Hawkeye, Groot, Magneto, Punisher, both shotgun and just DPS. What else can just get her out? Yeah, she's just very squishy, very vulnerable. But the double terror cape from cloak form is just ridiculous. I don't know why they added two in. Strat pool is gonna go in S. Um, I think his kits as of right now is probably A tier, but the fact that you can ult 3-4 times a fight is ridiculous. Um, he's definitely going to go on the bottom of the list, but just on the sheer fact that he can ult forever, Strappool's going in S. Gambit, you know what? Here. Adaro above. We'll call this, we'll call this new one, if it will let me, S+. plus. I rarely do this, but S plus tier. Gambit is just the best support in the game, bar none. Ult is ridiculous, gives a 20% damage boost um, inside of the ultimates. Just really strong, really viable. Almost it banned every single game. Gambit's just him. Invis is going in S tier, just above Strat Pool. A little less overwhelming. The self heal definitely got a nerf, but the self shield is still really really strong, and Invis's kit is just really strong still. Um, yeah, top of S tier for sure. My boy Jeff, I'm a little biased. I'm gonna throw him in B tier, but I really think he's C tier. There's just too many ways to shut him down. And the Deadpool team up's kind of a nothing burger, but like really good into triple. Really good for dive or to follow up with dive. Just a solid character for me, but he gets his weaknesses shown a lot. Loki, having a second Gambit is always nice. Psylocke gets nuked by the crystals. I think that's what they're. I forget what it's actually called, but we just call them crystals. Um, Having two crystals is ridiculous, or not two crystals, but having two Gambit ults is ridiculous. And Loki just outputs a lot, so he's going definitely in S plus tier. Luna Snow definitely going in A. Very squishy, very diveable. Sala kind of gets her. But I say I say Luna's an A, just kind of a tier below these four, and we'll throw in another two above them. But it's just kind of the start of that okay tier. You don't mind having a Luna, or if that makes sense. You don't mind having those strategists in A tier. Then you move to B down, and it's like, all right, well, we need to question, something like this. We have Mantis here. I'm gonna throw it in the very, very top of S. A lot of people do not know how to use Mantis. It's definitely always in triple support. Um, Mantis cooks. Damage boost is fantastic. Used her a lot this season. I think I have like an 89% win percentage with her. She is ridiculous. Ridiculous. We love Mantis on the Stab YouTube channel. And then finally, Rocket is going into that S tier. Just below. Actually, probably at the very, very bottom. A lot of Rocket players really suck, which is kind of funny. The ult is kind of dog shit if you don't know where to put it. But his big value is just BRB. Having a revive just come online 40 seconds, and if you're not completely buns and you're not completely stupid, you'll know exactly where to put it. You know, you can get a lot of value and climb really quickly with Rocket. Ultron. I'm gonna throw Ultron in that B tier above Jeff. He's really strong. This double drone. He does his damage. Yeah, he definitely has a place. More solidified B tier pick than Jeff. But that's also subject to change. I might move Jeff down. But yeah, those are the strategists. Um, yeah, really, really. I think these main five are kind of just who you want to pick, and then these are really okay substitutes. And then if you specialize with these two, you know, you go for it. But then just add them at D tier because Adam players below. Um, yeah, moving on to the DPS with Panther, I think he's very playable. People seem to have forgotten how to play against Panther, although he's very easy to counter if you do know how to play against him. And a really good counter is actually this one, is Black Widow. Um, you know, Black Widow is a character. Against single dive, she's okay, but like if you multi dive her, she's pretty bad. But she can be also really solid in the right hands. And plus, she has the Phoenix team up. If she wants to heal, she's very versatile as a character, but not a full anti dive. She's does a lot of things, just not everything well. If that makes sense. Blade, I think Blade's pretty okay. It's just, bleh, you know, doesn't cleanse the palate. Most Blade players are it's just really really bad. Um, yeah, Blade's going in that C tier, um, and I'll put him above Widow. Uh, Daredevil, I'm gonna throw an S tier. Yeah, Daredevil's really really good. Still probably one of the best dive DPS in the game. Psylocke rivals her for that title for sure. And I also rank Psylocke in that S tier. These two are just the best dives in the game, bar none. Still, they have a lot of carry potential, insane ultimates, really good kits. They're a terror for the backline. Deadpool. Yeah, I'm not impressed with DPS Deadpool. I'm gonna throw in between Panther and Blade. DPS Deadpool is just really squishy. You kind of need a second diver with you, and kind of just like a Jeff to pocket you. Um, However, we'll get to the other rendition of Deadpool. I think the strategist and tank Deadpool are really just completely outshine DPS Deadpool, and he's just kind of an okay character, if that makes sense. Hawkeye, I'm gonna throw an S. Getting one shot is just really, really annoying. Um, Kind of falls over against the bigger dive, multi dive, or tank dive. Cap, Angela, Thor really, really, really hurts. But yeah, Hawkeye just he has his space. He can run a lobby. Because we've all run into the insane cracked Hawkeye. He does his thing. Hela is going to be first DPS going in S plus tier. She's really strong. Um, I think having a hit scan with an invincibility frame with a stun is always grounds for me really really strong. She's a little bit more squishy than the other DPS we're gonna put up here, but she's just really really good. Torch, I think she's gatekept by the meta right now, or I think he's gatekept by the meta right now. I think he's either A or S tier, but I'm gonna throw him in B because of who's strong right now. Pretty good ultimate, does a lot of damage. If your DPS can't aim, you know, go and B, or you're gonna farm. But most people can aim up in the higher tiers once you get to the top 10% of players. So B tier is where he's gonna go because he kind of does get shut down. Iron Fist, I'm gonna throw him an S. I'm buying Iron Fist stock really early. He's insane. Tank Buster. Um, Gets in, gets out really, really quick. Emma is kind of your only problem and thing, I guess, but both can be handled pretty easily with a good Iron Fist. I think Iron Fist is just really, really strong, and I think his buffs were not warranted because I had him in A tier last season, and he's really, really strong now. Iron Man. I think he has his place. I think Iron Man players are just kind of in the mud right now. Um, Actually, I'm gonna throw him an F because of the meta that's prevalent right now. Um, you know, good thing about his ultimate is he can cancel the strategist's ults. Just kind of shit. I won't lie. Very squishy. Doesn't do nearly as much damage as he once did, and just falls over really, really fast. It's kind of a buns pick. Magic. I'm gonna tentatively throw her an A. I think she's really strong, but Magic players kind of blow. So I'm debating on A or B, but I'm gonna throw in her A. I believe I'm buying Magic stock really, really early. Don't be surprised once these anti or these stun heavy uh, characters, once they get nerfed, you'll see a lot more of Magic. Yeah, Magic's really, really strong right now. I believe so, at least. I believe to be so. Fanta, I'm gonna throw him in B tier. He's really strong in the right hands. Um, he can definitely be played into multiple different comps, but really shines into dive, not into dive, into brawl, and can anti dive and peel for your supports. I think he's really, really strong. He has that CC. Yeah, Fanta is going in B tier. Moon Knight, I think we're gonna go at bottom of B. Definitely has his place. Uh, People with Moon Knight are really, really strong, and he can definitely feast or famine a little bit, but you know he does his purpose. He's a really high damage character, but if you just kind of walk on him a little bit, he really does struggle. Namor, with the changes to his neutral, I think he's definitely an S tier, bottom of S for sure, but really, really strong. With the team up being nerfed a little bit, but him getting stronger was just kind of a nonsense move. Um, Jean, this is the probably the best character in the game right now. Jean is just really, really, really strong for no reason. Um, Again, hit scan with an iframe with the stun, but just is more mobile than Hela, and his aim is a little bit more forgiving. You do a little bit more damage on Jean, and she has a better ultimate. That's just the best character in the game right now. Wanda, I don't think there's a way to make her really strong. She's just dog shit in R tier, but it's you feast when you're in gold plus or plat below wherever. One is really, really strong. You have Spider Man. I think Spider Man's a really good spot right now. I'm gonna throw him on the top of B. Um, Next up, we got Squirrel Girl. I think Squirrel Girl can definitely be played, um, especially walking out of the spawn door. Now, is she good anywhere but beyond that? No. She's definitely going in D tier, but she can be played. That's the whole point. Star Lord definitely going in S. This is the third best dive in the game, but he's not really just a dive. He can fall into the ult merchant category really, really quickly. But he's just really strong. Dive on the back line, get a couple of headshots, and you're good to go. Storm, I'm gonna throw her in bottom of A. Really, really strong. Damage boost is really good. Ultimate's kind of a nothing burger, especially with Phoenix being in play. She just hits Q and wipes the team. But damage boost around everyone is really strong, especially in the triple support. She does a fair amount of damage herself. Yeah, I think A tier. Punisher, I'm gonna throw him in the top of A. He's not quite S tier in my eyes, um, but yes, still really strong. He has the laser beam of the primary, and he also has a shotgun, so he does his thing. Uh, Ultimate can kind of blow him up a little bit. Turret is really useless unless you're getting like Jeffed at your feet, um, or Wanted. But when are you seeing those? And the zipline grapple and smoke grenade is really good. Next up, we got Bucky, throwing him in S tier. I'm probably going to throw him at the top of S tier. He's very close to being plus tier in my eyes. Has not been changed. He's just really, really strong. Kind of gatekeeps dive. And he shits on multi dive too. So this is your best anti dive in the game. Followed up by Namor. Then we have Logan. Wolverine is really fucking ridiculous. Best tank shredder in the game still. Phoenix team up is ridiculous. Why do they have them make him strong? S tier for sure. Logan's really, really good. But he's also kind of map dependent. But when he's on those maps, he feasts. And those are the DPS. I don't think there's really, really bad DPS. Definitely people that can be played. But if you kind of see this group, you kind of wince a little bit, and anything above B tier, you can have a carry, or they can play their part. Next up, we got the Vanguards. Angela, I'm throwing an S tier. The shield nerfs kind of hurt her, but she's really strong, and she serves a purpose as a really good dive tank. I'm throwing Cap at A. It was really, really good dive tank. He does his job really, really well. And that ultimate is still really, really strong. It's fucking stupid that it gives ultimate charge, which is really stupid. But it does what it does. Deep Deadpool Vanguard. I'm throwing him an A tier. He's quite strong. I'm arguing with myself to throw him an S tier. I'm not quite sure, but he definitely has a place, and he's definitely very, very strong. We'll just see where he stacks up going through the season. Strange going in A, one of the shield tanks of the game. He's just really good. And TP is always a fun mechanic, either going for it early or teleporting to play the 2 point late. You always want to leave Strange open too. So if you get some practicing with Strange and TB back, that's really good for you. Emma. I think Emma's really strong. I think she's the best tank in the game, bar none. If she's not banned, she's just a raid boss. Yeah, I don't know why they buffed her. Well, I know why, but I don't know why they buffed her. If that makes sense. Groot also going in S plus tier. Same thing with Magneto. These three are the three kings of the or three kingdoms of the tank division. These three are just ultra strong. You have arguably the best tank in the game, arguably the best tank in the game, and then the best off tank in the game is Groot. These three do really, really well. And they don't take they take skill to play. And it's you don't see them carry very, very often. But if they're really, really good, you can carry. Hulk. I want to throw Hulk in A tier, but I'm thinking I'm gonna throw him in B. Uh, if there was like A plus A or A minus B plus tier, I would throw him in. I'm gonna throw him in B. It doesn't feel good. But Hulk's back. He's really strong. He can still get CC'd in his ult, but he can't get knocked back, which is good. He's a decent dive tank now, which is always good. I'm gonna throw Penny in D tier. Penny's kind of shit, especially getting rid of the Rocket team up. Goodbye. That character's kind of buns. Rogue, I'm definitely throwing in top of B. We still see some throwing mid lane rogues, when that's not really how you should play her. But Rogue is really strong in the right hands, and that's I kind of think where B is. Is if you're just really strong in the right hands. Same thing with Thing, and honestly, same thing with Venom. these four are just really strong when you get the hyper specialists that play these guys, and they kind of do separate things. Thing is just really good anti dive and kind of forward pressure brawl. Rogue's just kind of your flank tank brawly style, and then your two dive tanks with Venom and Hulk. These guys are just, they do what they do really really well, but then if you ask them to do anything else, they kind of falter. It's kind of just a feast or famine pick. And then we have Thor. I'm gonna throw Thor in S tier. Thor is really strong and kind of gets melted a little bit, like by Punisher, by Phoenix, by Hela, but Kidnap's insane. Burst damage is insane. Team up with Andrew is really fun. Just really really strong character, really really solid. And that is my tier list for season 6 Marvel Rivals. I hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe, comment what you see. If you agree, disagree, where you would change people, let me know. I really value your impact. I also stream at Twitch. Go check that out on the link in the description. And I'll see you guys. Peace.